con LaWayra, limpia, limpia, taita, vibrando con la hualca.
Hi guys, and welcome to ayahuascapodcast.com. Today we have a very special guest group, which is a German family. What's your surname?
Wingerts.
Wingert. The Wingerts. This group, they all came together. So Catherine here, the lady in the middle, she came to our retreat 8 months ago.
Yeah, in February. In February.
8-9 months ago, and she had great healing, and she discovered some family trauma. So they all came together to dig deep, and their retreat just came to an end yesterday, and we wanted to just sit down and talk about this beautiful process of healing the entire family, and how does it look like when you come to an ayahuasca retreat with your family, and what happens and how. Because I myself must admit I am jealous that you are doing this, because so far I wasn't able to have all my family together, and most of my family drank ayahuasca already, but it's a dream. This is a dream, so I think world deserves to know. So with no longer ado, guys, first of all, welcome. And Catherine, how was your original experience here, and how did you get the idea to bring your family here?
So my original experience was, of course, intense, because I had experienced a family trauma that I had forgotten, that I had completely suppressed during my childhood. So it was, of course, a very shocking moment for me finding out about it, but at the same time, a beautiful healing process. I stayed here for 2 weeks, which was also needed. And slowly transforming the illusions that I had about my past life, like making this transformation. And I realized during that healing process, of course, it's my healing, but at the end, it's a family trauma. It's a generational trauma. So what's needed is to heal our relationship as a family as well. So it was interesting. And in one of the ayahuasca ceremonies, I had some kind of vision about it, or some kind of ideas, but it was like, yeah, for sure, no, this is not going to happen. Like, if I ask my parents to join, they will think like I'm crazy to take them to Colombia to drink ayahuasca, because also they didn't know so much about it. My siblings, maybe that was more likely, but to have us sitting here like that, I would have never expected it. So during this year, we had a very intense healing process, and there was a lot of bravery from my parents' side, because they are from a different generation, whereas in our generation, it's more normal to talk openly, to start therapies, to start alternative healing methods. And I guess the idea just developed throughout the year while our family grew. Personally, each one of us, I feel like, had the individual healing process and then a family healing process. Our communication levels changed. We started to express more emotions, more deep talks, which in German culture obviously is nothing usual and nothing that we grew up with. And I think the actual idea, or the actual question, started in August. Hey, let's go to Colombia. Let's celebrate Christmas a little bit away from home. And the place that I trusted most with all my heart was, of course, LaWayra, where I had a beautiful experience and a very, very important healing experience in February. And then it was quickly decided, and they said yes, and I was like, let's book it immediately. And it has been amazing, the whole journey.
So for you personally, when you first thought about it, and then now as the retreat is over, has it been similar to what you expected, or less, or more? And like, what's your satisfaction level with making this all happen?
100%, I would say. It's hard to think about what to expect, because I really tried. Like, I knew it would be important. I knew this week was probably one of the most important weeks for our family, but I tried to not specifically think about what will happen. But I'm completely satisfied, relieved, happy of not only like my healing, because this is part of my own healing, but also see the faces of my family and to see their processes, experience, like, oh, what do they go through? And not only during the ceremony, but also in the sharing circle, like how we were all able to express ourselves, how we learned like that it's maybe this is the new way of family life. Maybe this is what we want our family to be like, to sit, to openly talk about how we feel, what are our problems, and change the whole family dynamics in that way.
Word circle is a useful tool. Let's pass the microphone to the head of the family.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 64 years old.
64. So I say you're double brave because you're older. You come from a different generation where, you know, I can imagine, you know, ayahuasca is considered a drug. And where did you find the bravery and compassion to, you know, instead of like most people would be like, oh, this is, you know, you have trauma, this is your problem, you know, leave me alone. Instead of like embracing it and then actively working on it and coming to the other continent to drink ayahuasca, like that. Tell us about this process.
Yes, the point was that if we heard this fact from Catherine, and Catherine explained also a lot of things about alternative medicine, and for me it was very interesting to listen this and to hear what's happened with body and so on. And generally in our family we are more and more open, yeah, because of our children, that we were also very close to this generation, and all our children were in foreign states to study, to travel. And so I think this, from our mind, we are also very open, whether we are a totally different generation. When we were young, everything was closed, only in the family. You have to shame, not to open to third parties, and so on. And for me we had a good connection permanently to South America, and also to the indigenous medicine. And so I think it was not so big barrier for us to go back to make the ceremony. And at first we made it also, it was not the first, but the second, but very intensive. And this week was for me also an absolutely new experience, because very intensive, about 6 days with a complete family and with a very interesting, nice group. Yeah, your service was absolutely professional. Also, the tides was very, very good. Yeah, and now at the beginning, I was also, yeah, what will happen in this week? Yeah, because I came also from the job, and what will happen? But after the third, I was absolutely relaxed and very free.
So from your point of view as a father of the family, how do you observe the change in the family? How does it feel, the connection in the family after this week?
We are much, much more closer together, and open discussion we had it also. But I will looking what happened. We are staying now here for the next 2 weeks, and we will discuss about this. To share our experience with this week. We have now to work on it by myself a little bit, and then to share it with my children. But it was a great experience, and I think a very good step forward.
I'm really proud of you, and I'm a little jealous that I wish my dad was like this and he was here also drinking medicine with my family, because unfortunately my family is very far away from that. But I'm also going to be working on something very similar. Let's pass the word to the mother of the family, Ute, right?
Right.
How was it for you, Ute? How did it feel? A little closer.
Ich war am Anfang sehr nervös, als ich hier hinkam.
So I was very nervous when I came here first.
Ja, aber als ich hier ankam, habe ich mich sofort sehr sicher gefühlt.
I already felt safe when I arrived here.
Alle waren sehr professionell, sehr nett, sehr bemüht.
Everyone was very professional and put a lot of effort.
Und so konnte ich ganz schnell mich auf mich selber konzentrieren.
So I very quickly was able to just focus on myself.
Ja, und ich war sehr erstaunt, wie schnell ich eine Verbindung mit Ayahuasca gefunden habe.
And I was very surprised how quickly I found a connection with ayahuasca.
Und es half mir selber persönlich und unserer Familie.
And it helped me personally and also our whole family.
Ja, und wir haben gelernt, auch jetzt mehr Emotionen zu erkennen und über Emotionen zu sprechen. Das ist in unserer Familie, hat sich wirklich geändert.
So we learned how to observe our emotions more and also how to express our emotions. And that is really something that changed within the family.
Ja.
Was it difficult for you to embrace the concept of ayahuasca or to start sharing with your family? Was it difficult or did it come naturally?
Also, ich hab's nicht.
Ob das schwierig war, das ganze Konzept von Ayahuasca anzunehmen und zu integrieren, oder wie war das für dich, der Prozess?
Also vor einem Jahr habe ich angefangen, mich mit Ayahuasca zu beschäftigen. Nee, vor einem Jahr, vor 8 Monaten. mich mit Ayahuasca zu beschäftigen.
So 8 months ago, I started to get into the whole topic of Ayahuasca.
Ich habe vorher noch nie da etwas von gehört, muss ich zugeben. Und es war hier in dieser Umgebung für mich sehr leicht.
So before I hadn't heard about ayahuasca at all, and but in this environment it was really easy to embrace it.
Dankeschön. Okay, let's pass the word to you're the older brother or the younger?
Second oldest.
Second. We do miss one family member, so this needs to be fixed next year.
Next year.
But meanwhile, was it? What did your ayahuasca experience also begin with after Catherine experienced, or did you also try this before? And how do you observe as a child your family and the change in the family and yeah?
I wasn't aware before of it. I remember when Katrin told me the first time, it sounded interesting, but it was too far away from me. And then with all the family trauma, I was like, okay, I have the trust. I trust my sister. She told me it was a good process for her. I will try it as well. And it has been a phenomenal journey so far. Really transformational, not only for me, but like seeing the whole family. I mean, we always had like a super close connection to each other, but now it's on a different level. It's even closer. It's talking about everything. There's no taboos. It has been beautiful, and also like in context of personal growth. I have learned so much in the last eight months, and this week was like a nice chapter closing, like
graduation.
Yeah. For her it was graduation. I made it probably like elementary school, but beautiful experience. Yeah.
Would you recommend this to other families?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I think more families should do this. I don't know. The purpose of this whole video is just to convince every family out there, like collect and come drink ayahuasca. It doesn't have to be here. It's not about that. It's about just how great this process is, including my own family. I'm working on it. So, okay, Verena. Wie geht es Ihnen? How was your experience, and how did you ended up getting dragged into this whole endeavor?
So first of all, I feel amazing. It's crazy how much can happen in 1 week. I already thought when I got here, like, oh, I'm really happy to be here in Colombia. I feel quite relaxed. But now after this week, after like all the ceremonies, but also just spending time here, just the word circles, like experiencing the group, I feel like it felt like much longer and completely different level. I think there's so much healing here for sure. And it was so beautiful to get to experience that with my whole family and also see their processes, their growth in just such a short amount of time. And for me, so it was really interesting. Like I heard about ayahuasca before, but mostly like kind of the negative stereotypes or how people say like, oh, it's more like a drug or you just do it for like a fun experience, or how there's sometimes people have bad experiences with that. So that was the only thing I heard, but never like that much. I just knew it from Katrin. She was been interested in it for a while. And it's interesting how fast it can change, because a year ago I was like, okay, you should do it. You're interested. And I'm really curious how it's going to be for her. But I never would have imagined doing it myself. I think I was definitely scared of losing control and not knowing what to expect. And then just, everything changed this year, and just seeing her, like the first time I remember, the first time I saw her after she had like all the ceremonies here. And even though she's been through so much and she discovered this huge family trauma, I don't think I've ever seen her more at peace and just really happy. So I think that was like the biggest factor already to be like, okay, like she's found so much healing here. To change my mind, but also as soon as she suggested it, I think, I just trusted her, because I knew like, okay, if she thinks it's the right thing for me, I 100% trust her. And also coming here, I knew like I was so curious to see it and to get to experience this place where she found so much healing. So I was just, very happy and very grateful to come here.
Thank you. Guys, this was Wingerts family, right? Once again, I'm really proud of this family. This is the example that we should all follow. It's just beautiful to observe for me. I believe in synchronicities. When something happens, always for a reason, and I kind of always wanted to have my family and to do this. And a lot of people, they see it the same way. It's like it's a sign for them that this can be done. You can actually convince your parents, because I'm sure it was not easy. Mm-hmm. It's always a process. And I believe ayahuasca can be a great tool for the family healing. So for you guys home, if you been to our retreat before and you know the concept of the word circles, if there is a family conflict or a trauma or any situation, collect them all together, make a little word circle, and talk it out. That could be a good beginning. And if eventually you come to the retreat, that would also be nice. I just wish this was more common, because we've LaWayra existed for 2.5 years now, and it's the first time we have like such a big family come all together. We had mother-daughter groups, we had mother-son groups, my own mom and my brother and my sister came as well, missing my dad. But to have like the whole is really, really nice, and we need more of that in the world. So thank you guys for watching or listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of ayahuascapodcast.com.
Trae con la vida, vida de la baila, cura con la guaira, limpia, taita, vibrando con la